If you own a brick and mortar retail store, you need to make massive change and make that change now, or you're in danger of going out of business in the next 36 months. This is the Ask the BCE Show, episode 31. In this episode, I want to talk about, first is goal setting. Us as a company, we've been starting to set weekly goals for everybody. And I was thinking about goal setting and my own goal setting and what happens psychologically when you don't reach those goals. And I think it impacts you a lot more than what you realize. If you set goals, but you don't actually accomplish the goals and you don't reach the goals, a lot of times we just slough it off as, oh, well, I'll just set it next week or next month or next year or whatever, and I'll get it then. But what that's really doing is reinforcing a behavior of saying to yourself that you're not good enough to set that goal. It actually, I think, is very detrimental to your psyche and to your ego and to your self-perception. So if you set a goal and you don't hit it, you're allowing yourself not to live up to the expectations of yourself. And you're going to fail and fail and fail and fail. The more that you miss those goals and the more that you don't hit those goals, that means that's going to reinforce itself and happen over and over and over again and often. So I know for myself is when I'm hitting goals on a regular, if I think I may miss a goal, I almost get competitive within myself and it pisses me off. Like, no, I'm going to get that goal because I set it. And that's it. Like, I'll do whatever necessary to accomplish that goal because I set the goal. If I don't hit it, I almost like look at myself, point the fingers back, like, yo, you slacked the hell out of that. You know, and I think poorly of myself. So I think like not hitting those goals is super detrimental. Now, I don't think you should set those goals super low either because that doesn't do anything. That doesn't do anything for personal growth. Set them high, but execute and hit those goals. So that's my take on goal setting. I know I've talked a little bit about it in the other episodes, but I think it's super important that you owe it to yourself to follow through and accomplish those goals. So that's goal setting. The other topic I want to talk about before I get into questions is retail. So I think things are changing really fast right now. I think retail is in danger in any industry you're in, any retail industry in, no matter what product you're selling or service. I think you're in danger, and if you don't innovate to give the customer a better experience, or innovate to give that customer a reason to actually be physically in your retail store, you're in some trouble. I think you're going to be in some hurt in the next 36 months. Because let's face it, online shopping, the convenience of online shopping, the pricing of online shopping is not going to go away. If you're not already competing with online shopping with the price, you have to have at least the exact same prices online with whatever you're doing. And then giving your customer a better experience in your store than they can find online. If you're not doing that, I don't know if there's any hope for you, to be honest. I think if you're not doing it now, in 36 months, you're out of business. I mean, that might be a little extreme. I don't know. What do you guys think? I mean, we see it we experience it, right? So if you guys see a retail store, you walk in a retail store, and their prices are higher than online, and their experience and the customer experience isn't as good, I mean, what do you think is going to happen in that business? Yeah. You know? The last thing I want to talk about is last night I actually had some meetings with some guys. It's like a networking thing, and I was talking to a dude that had a company. He's building a coffee company, and he's talking to me about marketing and like social media marketing. And he's like, "Hey, do you think that it's important for me to have a Facebook page or an Instagram page for my company?" And I was like, "Whoa, you don't have an Instagram page or a Facebook page for your company? You're 5 years behind, man. Like, you're going to start it now, and you absolutely 100% have to have a social media page for your company." Most people go to that social media page to check that business out to see if that business is actually legit. If you don't have a social media page, they're probably not going to shop with you. And that's just the truth. So, you know, we had a nice conversation of like, man, you are way behind the curve. You need to get social media for your business now. And let me spin you up real quick on what to do. So if you own a business out there, retail, service business, maybe you're a plumber, whatever, I don't care. You need to have social media and you need to be hitting it hard. So All right, that's my rant on a few topics. Let's go to some questions.
So, if your store needs something, but you may not necessarily have the money for it, what should you do?
If your retail store, I'm assuming if your retail store needs something and you don't have the money for it, I think it's first and foremost, you have to look at what you think that store needs and where's that return on investment going to come. Are you buying something because you think the store needs to visually look a certain way, be sexy, or are you buying something knowing that purchase is going to give you a 10x return on investment? Because it's two ways to look at it. I think if you're buying something just to be fancy, don't do it. If you don't have the money, don't do it. Wait till you have the money to be able to increase the perception of the business or whatever that might be. But if you feel like there's a good chance of getting a return on that investment somewhat quick, you may want to borrow the money, ask friends and family if they want to invest in your company, or go to your bank and get the money and do it, because if you don't do it, you're not going to get that return on investment. And now you're still in the same place that you're in whenever you decided that. And let's face it, guys, if you're not growing, you're dying. There is no staying the same. So that's what whoever asked that question, that's what I would do. I would dig into what this is actually going to do for your business. And if you're seeing return on investment with it, then make that choice.
Next one is, what parts of your business are not profitable? What is your pricing strategy and why?
What parts of my businesses are not profitable? It's different parts all the time. It seems like if you run multiple companies or even one company, whenever you put time and energy and focus to that part of the company, you're going to build it, it's going to get better, and it's going to get profitable. But if you're putting all your time and energy there, the other sections of your company are probably going to lag behind and not be as profitable. So it's kind of a rotating thing where time and energy goes here, you get more profits, but this lags behind. So to answer that question, it just depends on the day, I guess. As long as you're overall more profitable, then, or you're not losing money, then I think that's key. So what was the second question of that? Or second part?
Pricing strategy and why?
My pricing strategy is I always want to be the best in the market. I think that's super important, and I don't think a business should set its number one marketing aspect or the way that they separate themselves from the competition as pricing, because pricing can change any time. My competition can lower their price anytime that they want. So we don't focus on the foundation of our business on price. And I see a lot of companies that do it, and they're in danger, because at any point in time, internet, other retailers, anything can drop that price, and they're hurting, because that's the only thing they've built their business on is price. So for us, I make sure I have the best price. If I don't have it, I guarantee it that I'll beat the price. So if someone out there sees a lower price, I guarantee it. So that takes away that right in there. But you got to go 10 steps ahead of that. You have to give the consumer a better experience. You have to give the consumer more value than just price. So it's almost like in a relationship, you don't cheat on your partner. If you're in a business, you have to have at least equal price to your competition, if not better. You just have to. That's just step one, right? So that's our pricing strategy, is we're always the best price, but we have to add way more value than just price. Anything else come across?
I have nothing on Facebook.
You guys have anything to add? Nope. All right.
What's
you
your
got
biggest move for your retail stores this next year?
What's my biggest what? Move?
Yeah, to grow business.
My biggest move is go further into creating value for the customer. So I know that like internet's very prominent and super easy and convenient to buy online. So I want to create more value of my businesses where the customer receives more value than shopping online. And that's value within the product quality, value in with the pricing of the products, but also in the experience that they get. So one of the big things that we're adding in our businesses is technology. Technology that you can't do online. You physically have to be present in the business to do, which my why behind that is and what we're doing is metabolic testing, 3D body scanner. So to get healthy and fit, I think that's the next evolution of our store, is to allow that customer to use this technology to understand their metabolism 100% and to see the changes that they make over 30, 60, 90 days through that 3D body scan, where, you know, if you just jump on a scale, that's not accurate. So I'm really trying to set our customers up for success, to get them as healthy and as fit as possible with technology, great products, great price, Fit Republic foods. So we're kind of encompassing everything. Yeah.
Do you think people switch to like going more online because, you know, there's been a decline in customer service? I mean, you can't even go anywhere now without getting horrible customer service. So people are just so much more impersonable. Even just restaurants, they're liable to use Grubhub. They don't have to talk to anybody, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You think that's the decline in customer service has made people more apt to buy online or use services like that, or is it?
You know, I think customer services have been the same for years, to be honest with you. I think that customers, it's just now it's exposed a lot more. Where like, I'm sorry guys if you didn't hear the question was, do you think people are shopping more online because of bad customer service in the industry? That's pretty much it, right? I think that, you know, even 50 years ago, you could go to a place that had bad customer service. Just the problem is 50 years ago, there wasn't the internet. There was no other options. You just found a place that had better customer service, and that's where you went. So now, I think the core of most people are, they don't want to deal with other people. I think people are lazy. I'm lazy as hell too. Like, why would I want to drive 30 minutes and stand in line and spend an hour and a half out of my day to buy a product that may or may not be there, that may or not be the right price? I may or may not get customer service. Literally in 5 minutes, I can find it online, buy it, and it comes to my door. So I think the combination of being lazy, the convenience, and retailers not keeping up, like not growing, not evolving their company to having better prices, better customer service, better value to the customer. So that, I think that's where, I bet you 75% of retail over the next 3 years gets hurt really bad. I just bet, that's my opinion. We'll see what happens. Cool, anything else? All right, that is the Ask the BCE Show, episode 31. Thanks for watching, guys. If you find this valuable, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Just search Kurt Building. Thanks a lot.